Run an audio check before we begin today's stream. Shouldn't take too long. Hold on. Won't take but a minute. Okay, brilliant. So it looks like our audio is good to go for now. Let me know if at any point during today's broadcast we have audio issues. Welcome formally everybody to, I think, our fourth stream of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice here on the channel. I'm really excited to dive back in because it's been too long. It's been a little over a week, I think. And regrettably, in that time, I've had just a couple things about the next area, in addition to practically all the shinobi tools in the game, spoiled for me by a friend. So, a couple of the topics pursuant to mechanics won't be totally blind anymore, but most of the actual content in the game shall be, so that's somewhat of a solace. What's on the docket for today? Now, unlike our last stream, there isn't a whole lot of housekeeping I have to do. I think the only thing I want to do before we progress into Ashina Castle proper is go farm cash in the past, just really quickly. Because the memorial mob, the battlefield scavenger we met after killing the general last broadcast, is selling two very important items. A gourd seed, which we kind of desperately need, and then an item called Robert's Fireworks, which I didn't realize at the time, though I saw watching old footage, is actually a shinobi tool that, like, allows us to stun enemies or some such, and the combined value of those two items is 1,500 sin. So we are just going to travel back to the Dragon Spring Pilgrimage, side dungeon, and farm up some cash really quick. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's looking forward to seeing some more of this game. I know I certainly am. Made a lot of progress last time. We were able to take down 2 shinobi, in addition to a couple other mini-bosses, including the requisite FromSoft charging giant barnyard animal. Now, with 2 attack upgrades under our belt from those memories, these guys should not give us any trouble whatsoever. Though it has been a while, so I might need to refamiliarize myself with the actual controls here. Dogs are nowhere near as much of a pain as they were in Dark Souls. I'm very happy to see that. And oh yeah, even this chaff drops quite a bit of coin, so this shouldn't take us too long at all. Yeah, like 23 coins apiece. This'll be a cinch, now that I'm not dying left, right, and center. And if you see one strike there, without his guard drained, and it wasn't like the death blow, but one single strike drained almost all of that guy's health bar. That's very promising. Have I been down here? Was there anything down here? Let me check real quick. Nope, nothing here. And don't let me forget in the comment section or something in the chat a few broadcasts from now to come back and try to get at these treasure carp around the merchant out on the island when I actually have some kind of ability or item that can allow me to damage them reliably. That would be great. Yeah, no problem here. This is just going to be a cathartic little experience for me. Yeah, they can't lay a finger on me now. And we just smash right through the guards of even those bulky X-Men. That's a very good sign, guys. Hold on, my method of monitoring the stream just had a bit of a hiccup. So hopefully there's no issues on your end, guys. Please let me know if there is. And I will do what I can to correct it accordingly. Oh yeah, this has just turned into a straight hack and slash now. Oh no, looks like the stream's just fine. Good to know. See, this guy has the right idea. I mean, he has just watched his entire little operation get slaughtered right before his eyes, but he doesn't care. He's on break. They can deal with it, or they can't. Not his problem. Until now. Gotta respect that, though. Kept his cool right up till the end. I salute you, sir. Hey, wait a minute, wasn't there, another, like, Buddhist monk somewhere around here? Yeah, there was. Like, just to the side of one of the way shrines here, there was, another, warrior monk with, a crescent spear. It was a little too tough for me when I first came through, so maybe we could go try to take him on, too, for some cash or loot. After we've made our purchases from the memorial mob, of course. Almost there. Just 200 more. This is Chicken Courtyard, and I don't think chicken drops any gold, does it? No, it does not. Wouldn't have imagined it would. This is amazing to see. These guys aren't giving me a lick of trouble. Now, I'm curious to see if that thrust we found last broadcast has any effect on the shield guys. And no, it does not appear to. Looks like we are stuck with the axe for now. Almost there. Can I, like, perfectly parry ranged attacks? I don't know. The answer is, it would appear to be no. It's a shame. It'd be great if you could, like, reflect bullets back at Matchlock. Ashigaru. Alright, now that should do us, guys. Yeah, 1529, we've got just enough to make our purchases. So off we go to see the memorial mob. And, he was at the gate, I want to say. Or near the gate, at least. Kinda excited to see what's in the castle proper. According to the friend who's been very forthcoming with information about the game, there's like a whole lot of stuff and different routes to explore in there. So, rather looking forward to that. Now, the memorial mob is right up here. And apparently I had missed one earlier on in the game, like the same vendor would appear not far from the Chained Ogre. Which isn't a huge loss on my part, as I don't think the extra gourd seed would have mattered much, as the bosses are in that area were quite straightforward. Yes, he makes a deafening sound frightening to animals. So, for instance, the burning bull we fought at the end of the last stream might have been stunned with the use of these. I'm sure we'll find other uses for them, though. So there goes practically all our money, which, you know, no big deal. It's not exactly like I've just been shelling it out for other items or the like recently. So we're gonna jog on back now to the sculptor and have him enhance our prosthetic with the firecrackers, which I guess is going to be like a short-range flashbang kind of weapon. Might be interesting, might be worth replacing our flame vent, because I've not seen much use out of that recently. Oh, the Mercury counter, how I love you. Mikiri counter is basically like a really easy mode, perfect parry. The window for it's pretty broad, I love that. Does she have anything to say to us? No. Well, let's see. Anything? Oh, some backstory. So I'm curious to see if, like, if you let the dragon rot spread and fester within the afflicted long enough, if those NPCs will just die. That would be a pretty solid incentive to discourage, like, resurrection spamming, I suppose. Yeah, the Shinobi Firecracker. Don't think it says here how much it costs, but we'll see. Unleashes an explosive flash that briefly blinds foes and inflicts posture damage only on beast-type enemies. Okay. Has a wide frontward field of effect that can impact multiple foes at once. Suitable for temporarily immobilizing enemies and particularly good for scaring beasts. So I guess if we were fighting really fast human enemies, like other shinobi or something, this would be a pretty solid pick. And we will need some money to upgrade our tools, okay. Alrighty. So I think real quick I'm going to swap out the flame vent for the firecracker, which only has a cost of 2. That's great, it's a little bit more cost effective. Now, if it's actually worthwhile, that will make it really handy in the upcoming areas. Now, what else was I going to do? Oh yeah, 2 more quick little housekeeping items, alright, and then we'll progress. First off, we're going to go fight that, I think it was the, shinobi, hunter, warrior, monk, whomever, in the glade, not far from this way shrine. And then we are going to return to the assassin who gave us the name or title Sekiro toward the end of the last update, and asked us to kill the rats, or the bakemono, who were scavenging loot from the corpses on the battlefield. Since we did kill those guys, maybe we can get some kind of reward from him. I mean, I'm not expecting anything huge, but something at least, you know? Trying to alleviate some of that fall damage, and I did not. Oh well, no worries. With 4 uses of the gourd now, we've got more than enough health to make it through a brief sojourn in the past. Oh, hey. And we get a little bit of extra cash out of this. That never hurt anybody. Well, except these guys, but screw them. So glad I got that ability that restores health after death blows. Incredibly handy, you guys, and it actually restores a fairly generous portion of health. Come on now. That's the way. Alright, now the dudes in question were right down here, I want to say. I remember we killed one of them, like the weaker one, after isolating him. Yeah, this guy. Nope. And I missed the prompt, of course. Oof. Gotta get my timing down again, guys. Got him, at least. But the other guy, as I recall, is much, much tougher. I don't know if I can get a... I cannot get a stealth move in on him. Ah! Crap. No! Wrong attack. I don't care, I'm burning some resurrection. I want to get this. Almost. Come on. Hey! Oh! Actually got him. Brilliant. Now what did you drop? Scrap iron and a massive coin purse. Great. Great. So he didn't have a ton of coin on him that I could directly harvest, only about 48 sen, but we just got a ton off of his corpse that we can hold on to after death and burn anytime we need it. That's actually going to be super, super handy. And now I'm going to use the Homeward Idol to return to the temple, and then we'll finally get underway in the castle. Sorry for all the housekeeping every stream, guys, but I want to make sure I explore all the content we have as thoroughly as possible. As I said, I think on one of the earlier streams, it really impresses me how well From Software has incorporated stealth mechanics into this. They don't seem overly contrived or incredibly difficult to master. And it's rare I see stealth mechanics integrated so flawlessly into an out-and-out action game like this. Especially considering it's FromSoft's, I think first stab at like working with mechanics like that on a large scale. Though I could be wrong about that. They had a pretty prolific output in the 90s and early 2000s working in many different genres, so they very well might have played around with stealth at some point in the company's history, but it would be on some really small project. I know the Kingsfield series on, I think they were on PS1, were very well regarded. They're kind of like the spiritual predecessor to like the Soulsborne series. Never played any of those, but I have a real interest to. Alright, so now we're going to go talk to the ninja in here. Or wherever he was. Oh, more money. Great. Could always use that. Oh, is this a new direction too? Am I just finding new stuff left, right, and center? So we found the gatehouse key. A key to a samurai gatehouse located in the Ashina Reservoir, not far from the well the wolf was kept in. Here, Gyobu the Demon's broken horn is respectfully guarded by Ashina Samurai. The broken horn is the spear blade once wielded by Gyobu the Demon. It's said that no prey can escape Gyobu's horn. It pulls enemies in, and is even capable of stripping an enemy's armor. So, like, this one, unlike the axe, can break enemies' armor and, like, kind of grapple them towards us. Okay, that actually sounds super handy, you guys. And I think I know where we are now. Yeah, this is the beginning of the game. This is the area we were in at the prologue, I think. So that's clearly the wrong direction. I'm trying to find our buddy with the Tengu mask. So hold on. Whoop. Of course, that doesn't open that gate, too. Wishful thinking on my part. So we're gonna have to teleport again, real quick. Oh. Yeah, here we go. And we'll just move onward from here, because it looks like there are many different directions we can travel, moving forward. So the spear point, I think, Gyobu's spear is going to be another shinobi tool. And one that I'd really, really like to get, actually. This is where we fought the shinobi general, who I think was supposed to be the first, like, really big boss we faced, but I kind of sequence broke with Lady Butterfly, who, based on everything I found out about her after the fact, I think was actually supposed to be like a mid to late game boss that we just kind of tanked our way through at the very beginning. Oh, nice. The Ashina Esoteric Text. A compendium of the Ashina sword style allows one to learn Ashina-style skills. The text reads like a history of Ishin-Ashina battles. When young, Ishin fought desperately time and time again, polishing his technique in the blood of his enemies. He consolidated his learnings under the Ashina-style name for the sake of his clan's dominance. So this is like a brand new skill tree, I think? Nice. Got that just for killing some Bakemono. That's really nice. Okay, so he has nothing new to offer us for now. But let's go ahead real quick and check our skills. Oh, no, we'll have to do that at a shrine. Now, I was watching somebody else play through, as I think I've mentioned before. After I clear a section, I will go through and watch one or two other content creators play through it, just to see, like, what their experiences were like, but also to see if they notice anything I missed. And indeed, one of them noticed something quite important. We can actually climb our way through a little platforming section along the rafters here for a couple items. That's what's great about a FromSoft game. It brings the community together, not through forced, contrived multiplayer segments thrown in for the sake of artificially extending the player's engagement cycle and draining them through microtransactions and DLC, but just by kind of letting everybody play through a single-player, a really cohesive single-player experience, and have these totally different experiences uncovering the game's myriad secrets, and then just kind of share those with the world. So there's sort of a collective discovery element to a lot of this that I can really get behind. Oh, so it looks like I might have to jump for this. Oh, did I? Oh, whew. That was close, but we made it. It's not a mimic or anything, I hope. What we got? Oh, I'm excited. Oh, another prayer bead. Cool, so just one more from a mini-boss, I think. Mini-boss, full boss, whatever they are. And we will have ourselves a second prayer necklace, meaning more vitality and stamina, which is great, because while I've not been told any specifics, thankfully, my friend who's played through the game a bit further than me and was very eager to share some of his experiences, said that the boss of Ashina Castle is just nightmarish. And this friend happens to be very, very, very good at the Soulsborne games, so I'm just a little worried. But hopefully with all of these upgrades, we'll be able to just force our way through if needs be. Okay, so now to Ashina Castle proper. Finally. I think I'll start by going after the spear point. Just because that sounds exactly like my kind of weapon. Oh, you. That one was on me, I was being negligent. Okay. I do wish you could get different armors and, like sort of costumes, purely for aesthetic sense. I was always a fashion Souls guy. Not to say that the Wolf's, like, standard ensemble is unappealing or something. It's definitely very nice, but I like my customization. Good to know that a shuriken is enough to take care of doggos. There we go. And with this health restoration on death blows, as long as I'm not too careless or thrown up against enemies I have no idea how to combat, I shouldn't need to, just go through my gourd charges so carelessly or so quickly. But that's right, I forgot. Ranged enemies in this game never forget. Gotcha! Now these guys don't drop as much as the bandits, which I I guess kind of makes sense, because, you know, you think the bandits, they've been, like, scavenging everything they could find that is of worth. Can I frighten you with the firecracker? Oh, yes I can. Brilliant. Goodness. So, note to self, firecrackers really effective on big guys. Totally breaks their composure. Which is what we want. This is where we met Hell Cow. Which was a really fun fight, I have to say. I mean, I was terrible at it. There was no no finesse to what I was doing, but I love that fight. Definitely want to get over there. Did I already go over there? See, this is the problem when you go more than a week between gameplay sessions. You forget almost everything you've accomplished. Looks like there's even stuff over there. Wow. Can't wait to explore all of this. So did the gate just lock behind us when we went into Ashina Castle proper? I mean, that's what I'm presuming happened. So, like, we have to warp directly over there now. Which is fine by me. I mean, I got more experience, more cash. Not complaining. Wait. Was there something over here? No. This is just where I found a couple neat little consumables, I think. Alrighty. Back to the idol. And if you remember, apparently some religious figure has, like, taken control of a mountain somewhere, like a sacred mountain. So I suspect at some point we're going to have to travel up there to confront them. So there's a lot going on in the world of Sekiro, a lot of different paths to follow. But first things first, new shinobi tool. One that might even replace our axe in the short term. Which I'm kind of looking forward to. Also, the ability to, like, grapple enemies towards me. I wonder if... It probably can't, but it'd be nice if I could use that spear to, like, maybe pull ranged enemies off of ledges or something like that. So I guess there's going to be a big guy, maybe one of those giants with the clubs, clad in armor or something like that, serving as a mini-boss or something like that. And we're going to need Gyobu's spear to, like, remove his armor. That'd be a cool concept for a fight, like kind of a tutorial on how to use this new tool we're about to get. There we go. Hold on, I think I actually want to explore the, kind of the moat over here really quickly before we do anything else. Yep, we're back to the reservoir. Anything under the bridge? Anything at all? Nope. Just want to see if there's anything, like, on the bridge where that Bakemono was last. I mean, I'm assuming not, but we just want to be really thorough here. Or not. Well, we'll just come back for it later. New idol, always appreciated. So this is just the Ashina Reservoir idol. Gotcha, gotcha. Whoop. Didn't mean to alert them. Actually want to hear what they have to say now that I know I can eavesdrop on them. We will use this opportunity to see what's going on at the bridge. Nothing new, it looks like. Okay. Well, but is there something in that field that we escorted the young master to? Maybe. Worth a look-see, I would say. Locked. Alright. There's something down here. A Bakemono trying to scavenge another Mibu balloon. I'm certain all these balloons and sugars will come in handy at some point, just not right now. Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. That would have been an embarrassing death. Alright, now let's go see what our friendos over here have to say. So nothing of much import, but sounds like a whole bunch of shinobi are active in this area. Also, doggos. Down. Now these guys actually drop a fair amount of cash. Yeah, got a couple big guys up there. That's gonna be unpleasant. So we got big guys and what else? I'm seeing rifles. Just because there's two of the big boys, I'm gonna try to pick off some of the small fry first. If possible, so we don't... Oh no. No. Luckily, I don't think she was able to alert anybody who wasn't already suspicious. That's good. Very, very good. Gotta keep an eye out for that gatehouse, too. So there is as usual for big open areas like this, there is a lot of ranged enemies, riflemen specifically in this area. Like, a lot. We'll just hide in here for a minute if we can. And collect, oh, just some ceramic. Oh, this is that gatehouse. Would have expected as much. Oh, for God's sake. I would expect the samurai to actually be in here, but... Okay, we got some money, and I take it this is the spear, right? Come on. Spear... Spear. Yes! Gyobu's broken horn. Famed horn spear once used by Gyobu Masataka Oniwa. Yeah, Gyobu Masataka Oniwa. That was the samurai general we fought at the conclusion of the last stream. Affixed to the shinobi prosthetic to create a prosthetic tool. The horn contracts to pull enemies in, also capable of stripping crude armor. When the horn was broken during the rebellion, Ishin praised it for its splendid shape, awarding Oniwa with the cross-bladed spear of Shuzan Tamura. Okay. Now, since that big guy they mentioned earlier is, like, in here, I suspect, probably somewhere close to the Moonview Tower, it might be prudent for us to go ahead and warp back to base right now and get this affixed. So we'll do that and then just come back and fight our way through once more. Now that we know kind of where everybody is, this might go a little bit more smoothly, but even if it doesn't, as long as the big guys don't see me, I think we're going to have a pretty easy time and a very lucrative time making our way through the rest of the reservoir. New tool. This will be, I take it, the shinobi... Yeah, the loaded spear. Unleash far-reaching thrust attacks. Lighter enemies struck by the spear may be dragged towards the wielder. Those of large build will at times force themselves into poorly fitting armor. Such armor could be torn clean off. Coined by Gyobu as armor stripping. So, like, I can use a standard thrust, and then I take it for no additional cost, press R2 once more to, like, reel the spear back in. Very good. So, question, should this replace the axe? I don't know. At present, I'm thinking... Oh, hello, Val. Glad to see you. Yeah, no, we just found a new weapon, a new shinobi tool that allows me to, like, apparently break off, like, really crude wooden armor that's been affixed to some of the bigger enemies, like the big guys with hammers and sledges, things like that. So, it's a spear that I can, like, thrust into the armor and then reel back to grapple in weaker, small enemies, or just destroy armor and weapons in certain situations. Yeah, it sounds really handy. How are you doing today, man? Are you having a good one? Just dropping by to kill some time? Hopefully we can make it through the reservoir in one go. Oh, Val, I'm sorry to hear that you're ill today. Just allergies or common cold, something like that. It's it's that time of year, you know? Let's give our new toy a little test run on this guy, shall we? Oh, not what I was expecting. I'm so glad that they kind of nerfed dogs from their appearance in Dark Souls 3, because those things were an absolute nightmare. These guys, very, very manageable. Yeah, no, Dark Souls 3 dogs were the absolute worst. And of course, they were the only enemies in the entire game that were practically omnipresent. Okay, this is not going as planned. Hiding, real quick. Might have used the same sound files. Yeah, I think they did, actually. Was not expecting the entire compound to go on alert straight away. They did not last time. And they brought the big boys to play. Just turn around. Come on. Come on. That's the way. Oh, really? That should have been a death blow, and y'all know it. Well, let's take care of the most present threat here, and then we can deal with them on our own time. Nani the heck, yeah. These guys are, I'm not entirely sure what they're supposed to be. Some kind of mutants, maybe? I don't think they're mythological creatures. But there's quite a few of them in this game. Ogres. Oh, yeah, that's right. There is a type of ogre that's actually pretty present, or prevalent in Japanese mythology, isn't there? But they're... Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm getting most of this from my consultation with D&D beasteries, because I am like the supreme nerd. Japanese ogres are supposed to be a bit more intelligent and, like, refined than your standard Western ogre, I want to say. So the good news is, on their own, the big boys are not especially, trenchant. The problem is these omnipresent musketeers. Oh, you think these are, Oni? It's kind of a unusual, depiction of them, I think, but if so, it's a very interesting one. So yeah, I'd be looking for, like, the little tiny, yellow horns, or the red skin, or something like that, but no, you're right, these actually could be Oni, just, slightly more realistic looking ones. Didn't even see that guy. But we are nearing the Moonview Tower, and I suspect... Yeah, that's the big guy in the armor. That's going to be our kind of tutorial for the loaded spear, I fear. Yeah, I know Oni can have, like, different shades of skin, but it's usually supposed to be something kind of, unusual, and these guys look otherwise kind of normal. Okay, one of the 7 Ashina spears. Oh, it's another spearman. Good God. No, no, no. Why is it always spears? Whoa! This is a... So we're gonna pop a resurrection just to see if we can't learn some of this guy's pattern. But... Holy... Wow. Get the distinct feeling you're supposed to be fought a bit later on, sir. Whew. Okay. Yeah, no, it is a bit more like a partisan. It also had some type of, like, guard protruding from the blade, like maybe to catch and deflect the blades of enemies. So that's interesting. And that's also, I think, a boss we're going to have to revisit a bit later, because, oh my god. Well, okay, maybe we'll give it one more go. But there's a certain tool I'm gonna need to equip if we're gonna try that again. There we go. I was actually rather impressed at how weak we were against him. Oof. Letting myself get frazzled, can't do that. Alright. Can't even open this gate, that's alright. We'll try that again. Because I assume there's going to be quite the payday for taking out one of the 7 spears. Whomever they would actually be. Nope. Not this time. See, the shinobi tool I picked up a minute ago is another new one we acquired right at the start of the stream. That is effectively a short distance, like flashbang. Effective at maybe 5-10 feet. Works wonders on the big guys, so I'm thinking maybe it can throw the spearman off his game as well. Yeah, no, they give you a great variety of really useful tools in this game. I do appreciate that. And there's actual, like, practical uses for all of them, unlike several of the weapon types in the Souls series. As much as I love my whips, I hate to say you can't really make an excellent build based around them. Not so in Sekiro, where everything has a place. I haven't tried the Witch Hair Whip. You are absolutely correct. I have not. I know that some of them have more useful attributes, like, I want to say the Spotted Whip you can get from the Demon of Song in Dark Souls 2 is actually kind of handy, because it has, a poison effect. But, I had the most, impractical preferences when it came to, like, personal style and, gameplay mechanics, because I loved my whips and I loved my hexes in Dark Souls 2. I'm still kinda salty over them removing hexes as like a separate school of magic in Dark Souls 3. Terribly impractical, yeah, but also cool as all get out. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Val. They did include hexes in Dark Souls 3 technically, just by... Oh, okay. But they did include hexes in Dark Souls 3, though not as a distinct school of magic, and also with a significantly tighter or more restrictive list of spells. Many of the more esoteric hexes from Dark Souls 2 were cut entirely, I believe, which is quite a shame, because a lot of them were, as I say, not the most practical, but certainly cool little attacks to mess about with. It's another thing I loved about the Hex School. It was based around nothing but offense. This guy hits like a Mack truck, so I don't know how much good I'm going to be able to do against him. But guys, we'll give it one more try, and if we fail here, then we'll just head on back. Holy crap. Oh my god! Guys, we actually did it! Second try! Okay, prayer bead! And our third prayer necklace. Oh, wow, that is incredible! So, lessons learned from this fight. Let me take just a minute to kind of reflect here. This is really exhilarating, because I think this guy right here, yeah? This is the boss that my friend told me he had such a hard time with. And we were able to get it on our second attempt due to, just good old-fashioned tenacity, but also two really important things. Number one, this firecracker was surprisingly effective in that it not only temporarily blinded the enemy, but completely opened him up for a couple attacks on his vitality, therefore increasing the duration of time he would require to restore his stamina. You remember during the first fight, he just never left himself open long enough for me to really drain his stamina or vitality, so getting his weapon out of the way for a couple quick strikes that would fatigue him was essential. Furthermore, I noticed that even though it wasn't indicated as such with the alert kanji overhead, that big sweeping attack where he rotated the spear overhead and then brought it clear across the body and then finished with that upward cleave was effectively one of those low sweep attacks that I had to deal with in the Lady Butterfly fight. So what I did was, since I figured it didn't show me the alert kanji, I couldn't counter him by, jumping off of his head or anything, but I did try to, take an aerial approach, just jumping over the attack, and not only did that prove effective, but again, it left him wide open for successive attacks, and we were able to wear his fatigue down like it was nothing. That was brilliant. That was something I can actually be proud of. I think that is a solid first step in atoning for the Lady Butterfly debacle. Now, I want to see if there's anything else of note in the Moonview Tower. I mean, there's gotta be, right? You send, a big, bulky guy like that to guard something this far out of the way. There's gotta be something good here. Woo! Okay, so the young master having to deal with some angst, that's, understandable. Nothing. You mean to tell me there's nothing here? Wow. My god. Well, I mean, I guess there was that scrap iron outside, which is... I mean, it's important, don't get me wrong, but just somewhat underwhelming, rather, after that arduous trial we just had to put up with. Well, the real prize here is that feeling of pride and accomplishment. Good stuff, my friends, good stuff. So out of the reservoir, we got a prayer bead and a new shinobi tool. That's nothing to sneeze at, actually. And I just want to double check and make sure there's absolutely nothing else here. Maybe, back down in the well, they threw the wolf at the start of the game? Might be something there, no? In fact, let's go have a look. Because if I know FromSoft, there is definitely something to find in that well. Oh, and a friend. Yeah, so there's definitely something down there. Something fairly ominous. So this is yet another retainer. Does he have anything of import to say to us? Oh. Oh dear. I think I might know what this is. So... in Japanese mythology, there is a yokai that I believe actually takes the form of, like, a twisted, possessed shamisen? And, it was actually featured quite prominently as a summoner-type enemy in Nioh. And that might be what we're up against here. I mean, this is kind of an odious enough setting for the supernatural to assail us, is it not? Yeah, there's definitely something eerie going on here. Okay, anything else to add, my friend? So maybe we'll hear it at a later point in, like, the main story and have to come here, or there might be something more for us to do beforehand? Don't know. At any rate, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and take the plunge. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? That's another boss. Great. Tell you what, let's just go ahead and see what he's got. Oh no, it's someone we can talk to. And then fight, ostensibly. Yep, the Lone Shadow. Okay. So probably not gonna win this, but it'll be interesting. Oh, ouch. Whoa, Lord. Oh, well, we died, but that fight certainly looks doable, yeah? Especially if I have all of my healing items? Yeah, let's give him one more go. If you notice, that swordsman had one arm, so, that's why he was relying pretty extensively on footwork there, I believe. Really, really cool looking enemy, but now that I know he's an enemy, we can also, of course, cheat and get the drop on him. Did I take out the Spearman Val? Yes, I did. Second try. It was actually pretty easy once I realized that most of his really powerful attacks could simply be jumped over, and that each of them left him wide open for attacks on his health bar. Indeed, brother, hell yeah. But immediately after fighting him, I found a second boss who promptly just destroyed me, but is manageable, I think. It is a very nimble one-armed swordsman, deep down in the well where we actually started the game. I actually nearly depleted his stamina gauge, going in, having no idea what the fight was about, and with only one healing item, so I think we might be able to take him. Yeah, it is gonna be a long fight. Chiefly due to the fact that it takes place in a tiny little hallway. Right here. Which is the best place to fight a terribly agile enemy. There he is. Oh, can't get the drop on him. That's new. Oof. Ouch. No way Miyazaki would design a fight like that, right? Okay, so I'm learning something here. I actually cannot block his kick attacks. Or rather, I can, but I cannot perfect parry them. Well, at least I didn't think I could. Oy. That Archer corridor when you first get your shield, yeah. And the Black Knight. No, the first thing I think of when I think of Dark Souls and just really poor environment design for combat is the, Silver Knights with the great bows. On, like, the rooftops of Anor Londo. They are just the absolute worst. So tell you what, we're actually gonna leave the Lone Swordsman alone for now. Just to avoid any unnecessary deaths and outbreaks of dragon rot. Yeah, no, the Silver Knight, Great Archers were probably the most infuriating part of the first Dark Souls for me. Well, maybe a close second to, like, the lower reaches of Blighttown. At least my first time through. But, oh, we're gonna go ahead and, enhance our physical attributes while we're here. That might help. But we are, but I also noticed that, of course, since everybody hated the, Great Archers so badly, they had to bring that back totally unaltered for Dark Souls 3, because of course they did. Along with, mind you, the entirety of Anor Londo, because creativity. Well, if I'm not going to fight the Lone Shadow Swordsman quite yet, I think that's about all we can do for here, right here for now. It wasn't unaltered, it was more archers? What, was it actually more? I think it might have been. Yeah, no, because in the original Dark Souls there was 2, I want to say maybe 3. But in Dark Souls 3 there were quite a few more. Well, basically every Silver Knight in Dark Souls 3 was an archer, correct? They could swap their primary weapon out for a great bow. Because the Dark Souls dev team loves us all so much. Oh, and in Dark Souls 3, all of the Silver Knights have enchanted weapons. Because of course they do. Well, wherever we see Bakemono, we know that loot's not far behind. Ooh, tell you what would probably be extremely useful against that swordsman. If we can go back to the temple a bit later on and upgrade some of our shinobi tools, especially our firecrackers, we might be able to throw him off balance entirely. You can't get their weapons as drops. Yes, that really pissed me off as well, Val. Because in Dark Souls 1, Silver Knight armor was like my primary kit for most of the game. Silver Knight armor and a fully upgraded Silver Knight sword, which was actually a phenomenally useful weapon for what amounted to a pretty basic straight sword that maybe had a little bit of extra length going for it and nothing else on as far as like cool gimmicks go. Oh yeah, sorry, I misread your message. Yeah, you can get the armor, but I think also in Dark Souls 3 the armor has a significantly lower drop rate. And I mean the armor itself, not like your gauntlets and greaves and all that. You can get that pretty easily, if I recall. Oh, you don't like the look of the Lothric Knight armor? I thought it was pretty okay, to be honest. The Soul series was actually in desperate need of, like, just a basic, like, stereotypical European knight, and we finally got it. Oh, the Lothric Knight's sword. Yeah. I always preferred the Lothric Knight's like long spear with the tattered banner wrapped around the shaft. So now that we're in Ashina Castle proper, finally, we have quite a few different avenues of exploration open to us. I think we'll start right over here. You're right, they don't know what weapons are. Like, mini weapons, I believe, in the curved sword category, were, if we're going just by, like, the technical definitions of different types of weapons, miscategorized as scimitars or falchions, when those probably aren't accurate descriptors. Like, I think at least one of the weapons referred to as a scimitar in the Soul series is pretty obviously a killage. Like, it's got the slightly slimmer blade and thinner curve. Well, no, when I think scimitar, I think of, like, a broad-bladed, pretty, hefty sword, something a bit like the jeweled scimitar in Dark Souls 2. The scimitar in Dark Souls, just the standard scimitar in the Soul series, I think is more evocative of a killage. What on earth is this? Oh, Fuma Shuriken. This is gonna be interesting, or not. Well, you tried. More Bakemono down there. Oh, it looks like I can't quite destroy their, stuff. Their hats. So, loaded spear to loaded axe. I do like that you can actually switch out tools in the heat of combat. That's really handy. Yeah, it is more akin to a doll. You're right, and it's a shame that more like traditional Chinese weaponry isn't represented in the series, because there are some really beautiful designs that come out of, say, the Warring States era in particular. Yes, they did spend way more time on katana animations. Way more time than you think would be necessary for, like, a weapon set with a... or a category with so few, inhabitants. These guys are interesting. So there's just so much to explore here, y'all. This is kind of crazy. Looks like we'll be sticking to the rooftops for a bit here. Way more where that came from, I bet. I don't even want to know how complex and multi-layered this game's environments really are. Like, I'm trying to be as thorough as possible, and I promise you I'm still missing scads of stuff everywhere I go. Okay. Making good progress. So apart from the rooftops, it looks like this section's actually kind of empty. Curious. And down there we've got, no doubt, like 3 dozen matchlock Ashigaru. Can we eavesdrop on them? I bet we can. Ooh. Oh well. Perfectly happy to throw down with them. Just not right now. If I could help it. Yeah. Okay, just don't turn around quite yet. There you go. Thanks for your cooperation, sir. See, that's how you guard a fortress. Keep moving and... What on earth? Buddy, you alright? This isn't rigor mortis. This is just like complete paralysis. I think his eyes are wide open and... Wow. And here I've been giving FromSoft some real credit for designing halfway decent looking character models. So that's the entryway. Staring at his feet even in death. Oh, that's good. Now, let's go talk to that, who I can only assume is a merchant we found over here a minute ago before we were so rudely interrupted by the entire garrison spotting my brilliant expert infiltration. You are absolutely right, Val. I am the Master Ninja. Because, to be fair, nobody alive in the castle has seen me, so... A note on smoke signals used by Ashina Shinobi, the Grey Night Jars. Pale pink smoke signals are placed along the rooftops of Ashina Castle. These signals guide the Nightjar. The ashen-feathered flock are surely the only ones able to follow such a trail. So I guess I've got to follow those self-same smoke signals? Or perhaps I could destroy them to, like, erase or alleviate some of the Nightjar presence. If the latter is true, I'm not exactly going to make it a priority, because I assume those shinobi with the Fuma Shuriken are the Nightjars, and they're not all that tough, to be honest. Okay, so he was just giving us a little bit of extra information. Okay, good to know. Are there smoke signals like that I can follow? I would certainly hope so. Like that, perhaps? Got him. Alright. What? Oh, another one. Speedy little guy, isn't he? Yeah, this is one of the smoke signals. And it showed us a totally worthless item. Nice. Okay, so there's Shuriken home. That's not good. Really incentivizes us to close the gap here. Oh, wow. I'm actually resurrecting, because I was not expecting that, and nothing will hold me back. Not even the Dragon Rot now. Oh, they're not Fuma Shuriken. They're like, Kami, or Kamas. Hand sickles. Oh, wow, there's a lot of you. I mean, I guess I should expect nothing less than, a complete military presence in, like, the Ashina Castle proper. But still, Jesus. That one has a comma, but some variants do have shuriken. Okay. You know, I took martial arts classes for a good few years when I was younger, and one of the classes was actually based around, of all things, weapon training. And the weapon I kind of naturally gravitated towards was the Kama. Can't say I was ever much good with them, however. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's one of the samurai generals. Oh, you ended up picking up the bow staff, getting some of that Donatello action in? Yeah, I was always fond of, like, the fluidity of the staff. The problem was, I have always been, like, kind of a short, doughy guy, so I could never move with it that gracefully. Let's see here. Do I actually want to chance it and fight this guy? I mean, I know how to deal with him. I have fought and killed basically this exact same boss 3 other times. But the problem is... Oh, this isn't right now. I haven't taken martial arts classes since I was maybe 11, 12, somewhere in there. Okay. Tell you what. He's got a prayer bead. I need a prayer bead. Might as well chance it. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, they are all musketeers. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe if we just make really efficient use of these iframes, we can get rid of them. Okay. Whew. That's the thing about samurai generals, is they are, not as gimmicky as a lot of other, boss paradigms, but they are ridiculously aggressive. As you would expect. After all, these were the bravest warriors in their countries. Got him! That's how you do it. One thing I've learned is with the stamina mechanic, most fights in this game, at least those against human or humanoid enemies, are all about momentum. Once you establish a rhythm of strikes, perfect parries, and the odd occasional dodge of unblockable attacks, you can get the average adversary on the ropes pretty quickly. Oh, and they were guarding a chest, so it was totally worth my time. Oh, more Divine Grass. I think we've actually gotten one of these earlier. It's basically, I want to say the equivalent of a Divine Remedy or something like that from Dark Souls. Basically a complete heal. DDR Souls Edition. Exactly, Val. That's kind of exactly what it is. It's all about tempo. Divine Blessing, that's it. It's been quite a while since I've played a Souls game, if you couldn't tell. Oh, treasure over here I missed. Well, that'll never do. Oh, hey, ceramic, something, shiny, in a crow's nest. Because we must always be incredibly self-referential. If that's a shout-out to the Soul series, I actually kind of like that one. It's just out of the way enough and kind of implicit enough that it's endearing more than anything else. Silky smooth, that's right. The crows from... I want to say they were present in every single Souls game. Including Demon Souls. And in Dark Souls 3, man, they could actually give you some pretty fantastic gear. Well, Dark Souls 2 as well. They could give you... There was a small chance I think they would give you, like, really high-end, heavy weapons. Oh, more night jars. Great. Oh, and they are everywhere. Oh, good God. Okay, so new idea. Try to get out of their aggro range. And kind of cuddle up in a corner like this. Yeah, you could get the Stray Demon's Great Hammer straight away, which, if you're going for a strength build, is, I want to say, one of the best weapons in the game. You could also get, in Dark Souls 2 at least, I want to say the Channeler's Trident, which is also pretty fantastic if you're just starting out. And is one of the coolest looking weapons in the series, in my humble opinion. Okay. Well, I was not expecting that to happen, guys. That was entirely too many ninja. There we go. Oh, look at that. I think I'll have to deal with him at some point or another. You know, like past Nightfall, this is a brilliant reconnaissance tactic, but right now it just looks friggin' stupid. It's the door in the sky. Oh, the Duke's Archives, don't remind me. Aesthetically, probably my favorite part of Dark Souls 1, but in terms of gameplay, one of the most infuriating sections of... One of the most infuriating areas in the entire series, when taken into consideration, along with the Crystal Cave. Really? Really now? Oh, I do not care about Dragon Rot right now. I'm using my Resurrection, because those were Suicide Night Jars. I was not expecting that in the least. Oh yeah, Val, all the challengers in channelers in the Duke's Archives, they were the absolute worst. Those and the Pasakas. So do I, or can I, like, you know? No? No, just nothing I can do. Maybe, hold on. Gonna try one more thing. Always be thorough. No, huh. Oh, the kites might be where the nightjars fly in from. Yeah, that makes a bit more sense. I was hoping I could, like, cut them and, maybe, like, take care of some lookouts or something like that. But, yeah, it's entirely possible that they're diving down onto the castle. Oh, we got lizards down there, but also treasure, so... Oh, that's just one of the night jars that must have fallen. Guys, I can't tell you how badly I already miss the bandits from the Dragon Spring Pilgrimage stage. Because there's one thing that old Brady hates, it's ambushes, and that kind of seems to be the raison d'etre for this, this area's primary enemies. Anything more down here before we continue on to the courtyards? Yeah, I can see, I think that's a nightjar down there. No? No, dead nightjars. Just stay away from the smoke. Yeah. Yeah, or at the very least, prep myself before I approach it, because they do always seem to be guarding some pretty solid loot, like upgrade items, that I definitely want. So as long as I look for the smoke, you're right, that's a great tip, Val. I should be fine. What is this? Is this a shortcut? It would appear so. We have shortcut. Brilliant. I think, right? Yeah, just right inside the gate. Shortcut. Bam. You think that was the significance of the memo, yeah, that they're clustered around the smoke signals. I would be inclined to agree. More medicinal pellets. And yet another door to open. With what appears to be a sculptor's idol on the other side. This is just the idol at the reservoir, I think. So now we will have just completed this little circuit. So tempted to rest at the idol, but I know what that would mean, and I really don't want to fight any more crazy, like, Kama Tengu than I have to. Okay, so... Oh, there it was. One of the things I do love about FromSoft's design is the way they incentivize exploration, because as you guys can see just watching these streams alone, or any footage you find of like the Soulsborne games, there is treasure, and usually some kind of significant treasure that will affect your gameplay or prospects in future, literally everywhere. What on earth? Take back what I said about the guy who had, like, his knee kind of tucked to the chest in death. This is the least dignified position, I think, an honorable warrior could die in. I preferred the really wobbly ragdolls from the Soulsborne series. Oh dear. And look at his hands! It's like he was thrown against something, and then just froze solid. Oh, wow. Was not expecting to find this in Sekiro. Sleep well, sweet prince. Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay, that one was on me. Thought I could make that jump, but I didn't. Great thing that you don't actually die when you fall from a great height in Sekiro. You just take some damage. I can live with that. I hear you, Val. I miss Ragdoll Soccer as well. In fact, okay, so, just while we're killing time here, I'll share my favorite multiplayer story from the entire Dark Souls series. Now, I am, as you would expect by just seeing how I perform here, kind of horrible at Soulsborne multiplayer. It's not something I enjoy, it's something I avoid unless I am in the Rat King Covenant and can stack the deck so strongly in my favor that it just becomes a fun little scrimmage with other players. But, at one point in Anor Londo in Dark Souls 1, I was working my way through. I want to say I was on my way to fight the Dark Sun Gwendolyn. I was at the end of the game just kind of mopping up, getting all the loot that I could for New Game Plus. And I happened to be invaded while I was traveling along the rafters in the hall that holds the Painted World of Ariandel. Or whatever it was called, in Dark Souls 1. I think it's Ariandel in the third, maybe? No, it's Ariandel in the first. And I am invaded while I'm traversing along these rafters, right? Hold on just a second, I'll finish my story and then we'll travel on into new lands. I don't want to, be distracted and get ambushed by, like, 38 Ninja again. So, I am invaded, just as I finish clearing out the rafters, of Painted Guardians. As I dispatch the last of them, I see this message, and I just know, this is, Dark Souls, probably just before Dark Souls 2 was gonna drop, so there were, like, really experienced players going through with new builds, and kind of, yes, Aramis, the Painted World of Aramis in, or Ariamis in the first, Dark Souls, that's what it was. So I know, this is gonna be some pretty experienced player, clearly talented with PvP if they're invading, specifically if they're invading in this part of the game, which is not one of the cheapest places you could invade somebody from. I can think off the top of my head of 4 or 5 that would be way more favorable to an invader. So I get a little worried. I know that my, like, extremely lithe dex build ain't gonna cut it. So here's what I do. Now, I've not killed, I want to say there's 1 or 2 Painted Guardians toward the back of the hall that are left alive. They're out of my range, I've not aggroed them, anything like that. So what I do, I am a huge fan of loot, so I will, like, farm armor sets and all that just for fun. I happen to have a full set of Painted Guardians armor on me, in addition to 3 or 4 of their little palette knife curved swords. So I deck myself out in full painted Guardian regalia and equip a pair of, like, their curved swords and stand in the exact position that was previously inhabited by a painted Guardian who I had killed and then, like, ragdolled onto the floor below. I stand there with bated breath. At this time, too, I'm carrying a load of souls, right? Like, I really should have bought a few levels, maybe 2 or 3 bosses ago. And I stand stock still, bated breath, as I see the invader enter the hall. Now, if he sees me, I am toast, because I have not upgraded any of this gear, it's not strong gear, and even though I'm a dex build, I like to have a shield to soak up some damage. I'm not that great with parrying. And this guy is exactly what I expected. Kitted out to the nines, like a huge strength build, got like a great hammer over one shoulder, it looks like it might be the Grant or something like that. I'm terrified, right? But I'm like, I could get a great story out of this, so I'm just gonna stand stock still, this is my only chance, and I am going to, see where this goes. And sure enough, he walks right around me. His character turns for a second, and I think the ruse is blown, so I very quickly whip out, like, my normal, shield and weapon, which I had equipped in secondary slots, and I, like, start frantically pacing around, but I guess his camera wasn't situated on me any longer at that point, because he starts to move off across, the rafters, and I very quickly snap back into the regular position. And I stay there, no joke, just doing other things around the house, for maybe about another 6-7 minutes, until I get the message that he has just returned to his home world because he is fed up with trying to find the host. I love that. It was the proudest moment of my Soulsborne career, and kind of the most pure demonstration of my personal mantra of fight smart, not hard, that I can think of. Yeah, you're right, Val. That was amazing. It's amazing what cowardice can inspire you to do, let me tell you. So we've got more ash and another idol, so... Let's see what's in here. Oh, a new gourd seed! So yet another use of our healing gourd, which we are really gonna need if there's more night jars in this place. Also looks like it's been completely ransacked. So I have a feeling there's something quite nasty waiting for us further in. Now at this point, guys, I think this is the perfect time to take a quick break. Give me about 5 minutes. I'm going to go grab a drink, check my emails, like, stretch my legs a little bit, and I will be right back, alright? Hopefully we will be able to get about another hour in. So thank you so much for rocking with me. We'll be right back. Alright, guys, we are back. Thank you for your patience during the break. Let me just take a hit of water right here. I might need to look into getting myself a Hydrobot one of these days. Oh, Val, you said you think that the night jars are only present on the exterior. I don't know. They may be, but if I know this game and the fact that sort of the theme of shinobi versus shinobi seems to be a central concept, that maybe like the Grand Master of the Night Jars is waiting for us somewhere in here. Oh, you remember what you were going to say about the legendary spearman? Yeah, go ahead. While I examine my skills. Oh, that's right, we have a brand new skill tree to examine. Oh. Oh, we unlocked a heavy attack. Ichimonji. Oh, a heavy attack that recovers our own stamina. That's a new one, isn't it? Oh, his weapon had a tine at the base which made it look more like a faux shard. Yeah, I think you're right. It was a really unique looking weapon, though. I don't think there's any exact real-world analog to that thing, because it had, like, a guard at the blade for catching or deflecting an opponent's attacks, and also, you're right, the tine close to the base. It was a very bizarre, kind of unwieldy looking weapon. Definitely getting the Ichimonji. Oh, dude, are you seeing this? This is a new skill set we unlocked close to the start of the broadcast today. Val, I think you may have missed this. This is really cool. This is the Ashina swordsmanship skill tree. So we've got not only a heavy attack we just unlocked that I will be equipping immediately. We also have the Descending Carp, which, for a few seconds after deflection, any deflection, I guess, not just a perfect parry, but any attack we block, increases damage to enemy posture from all sources, meaning that my boss battles should ideally go even faster now. Oh, well, when they go in my favor, at any rate. And the Ascending Carp increases the damage inflicted to posture upon performing a successful deflection. Oh, I want these both, but hold on, let's see what we can get from the others. Mid-air deflection, I don't think we really need that yet. Mid-air combat arts, again, not critical. Shadow Rush, which is just straight up Stinger, followed by, like a pole vault. That might be useful. Might be. Increase the damage inflicted to posture upon executing a successful Mikiri counter. A lot of good stuff here, guys. This is a good sign for me that I have so many options available to me insofar as skills are concerned, and none of them look like they would be a waste. Not really, at any rate. I'll go ahead and get this really quickly, just to open up, like, this skill tree. Mid-air prosthetic tool, don't need that. Fang and blade. Oh, so, like, follow-up attacks. I think we're good on this tree for now. Suppress sound might be good. What do you think? Val, any of these skills that we've gone over very briefly, look appealing to you? I'm tempted to go for the ones that increase stamina damage upon, like, successful blocks. I mean, they look kind of dirt cheap, and, considering that stamina seems more critical to this game, or more of the, critical to more of the really challenging sections. Oh, you would go for the stamina passives. Alright. We have achieved consensus then, and it looks like we've unlocked a few new options. A double Ichimonji. You can only see skills further down a tree if you have purchased, one of their requisites. At least one requisite. So, for instance, we can't see this final combat art, but we can now see these three. Just an upgrade for the Ichimonji. Don't think we need that yet. I want to see if the original is going to be, particularly useful first. Flowing water. Oh, reduces the amount of damage to posture I suffer when attacked by an enemy with a sword. Oh, man. Posture hasn't been a really big worry for me thus far, but I feel like at some point or another it's definitely going to be. So maybe we want to hold off on this one just a little. Breath of Nature, light. Recovers posture upon executing a successful death blow. So if I buy this skill, we will recover both life and stamina every time we land a death blow. Oh, guys, that's really tempting. As are these, however. Tell you what we're gonna do. With those posture boosts, maybe I could beat the Shadow Swordsman? You're right, because he's the only enemy I've fought so far that seemed to be giving me significant trouble insofar as stamina is concerned, wouldn't you say? Simply because most of his attacks couldn't actually be, reflected, or, deflected, whatever the proper term for this is, hold on. Deflection, yeah, that's right. So tell you what I'm gonna do. Since we're in Ashina Castle right now, and there's at least a little bit more gameplay ahead in this particular spoke before we have to go back and fight the swordsman, I think I'm going to get Run and Slide and then work our way up to Shinobi Eyes, then Breath of Nature, Light, solely because anything that increases damage to the enemy's posture, I think, would be more useful given my particular playstyle than anything that would protect my own. If you've noticed thus far, I am perhaps excessively aggressive in combat in these types of games, so anything that ends a fight faster is better for me, but hold on, let's see what we have here. Val says he's fairly aggressive, and he primarily uses his feet until my poise is broken, as it is. Actually, the move he uses after my poise is broken is also a kick. It's an unblockable kick straight to the face, like a mule kick. So hold on. I think we're just gonna go this route for now, guys, and we can go back and get the others. I promise you we're gonna get plenty of boosts, and prayer beads, memories, and the like, just by climbing through, Ashina Castle. So, first things first, combat art. We don't need Whirlwind Slash, we need the Ichimonji. Oh, that's nice. Yes. Yes. Brilliant. Yeah, no, we didn't really get a chance to examine the finer points of the Shadow Swordsman's moveset. A, because I was not at my best in that fight, and B, because the camera was not exactly wanting to cooperate in that really restrictive environment. Oh, who is this? Are you an enemy, or...? I guess? Sorry. Hope you weren't like an NPC that just got a little over-curious. No, he dropped gold and the like, that was an enemy. I actually never used the Iato in Souls 1, pal. I used, very briefly, I want to say, used, the Waxashi, and I, was quite fond of the washing pole. Oh, NPCs can't actually be attacked in this. That is really good to know. Thank you for telling me. So it looks like our enemies now are a bit more professional. They're these retainers. And there's a lot of them. Whew. take it she would have raised the alarm. Oh, this is cool. This is so cool. Just 2 of them. I can take 1. Oh, how do you like mine? Oh, now these guys actually have a friggin' moveset. Alright, alright. Oh, oof. Definitely was not expecting this. No, no, no. There we go. Mikiri counter is my best friend right now. Okay, so it looks like these guys are going to take a bit longer to wear down, but now that I've got their moveset, they shouldn't be too bad. Come on, sir. Ooh. Or not. Okay, we'll just reload at the shrine. They clearly have no honor, as most duels were fought one-on-one in real life, right? Like, these guys look like your typical, like, noble retainers, but, I think it's actually kind of explained away in canon, believe it or not, because a lot of what we've been told about the Ashina, it kind of alludes to the fact that they value victory at all costs, hence the recruitment of, like, Bakemono and Oni and creatures like that. Okay, let's practice with just one of them for now. Oh, there we go. Good point, Val. Dodging is not going to be terribly effective against these guys. The only reason I'm throwing dodges out quite as often as I am is because the dodge button also contextually initiates the Mikiri counter. And I just anticipate every attack to be a thrust because I'm paranoid like that. You know, maybe, like, with the layout, though, this is intended primarily to be a stealth section, and these guys were designed with that in mind. Like, you're not supposed to be fighting more than one of them if you're doing this right. Maybe. Can't find me up here. Oh, I mean, I'm sure there's a night jar or something, but... Yeah, see, because there's just some regular Ashigaru here, so I think I am supposed to, like, take most of the retainers out in a somewhat more clandestine fashion. Says he, as he, like, kicks part of the roof in. Okay. Can I drop down without being seen? Oh! Actually could. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, Val, I didn't know that at all. If this was an actual castle, they would have floorboards that creak unless an individual is to step in a specific pattern, alerting the guards. That is fascinating, man. I had no idea. You really know your stuff when it comes to military history. That's why I really appreciate having you and other not knowledgeable folks along for the ride for streams like this, because oftentimes finding out little trivia like that makes these experiences far more rewarding, I think. There we go. Yeah, and this guy does not have the same moveset. He's much weaker, actually. Oh. Those damn thrusts. Alright. We will get this. We will get this. Oh! Gotta remember he ends that one with a thrust. He ends just about every attack chain with a thrust, it looks like. Here we go. Showtime! There it is. Alright. We've got those down now, at least. Whew. More upgrade items. And sugar. Not remotely worth it. Yeah, no, that is great. I'm pretty sure if you tried to thrust, especially even a lightly armored enemy with a katana, due to how brittle the constituent iron was, it would fracture, like, almost on impact, wouldn't it? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, now, time to cheese it. Whew. So yeah, considering the strength of these guys compared to, say, the Nightjars and the Ashigaru, I have either accidentally wandered into an area meant for a considerably more developed wolf, or these guys are kind of meant to be avoided or assassinated rather than fought outright. Oh, this is really cool. So Val's given us a bit more information on the smithing process of katanas. It says, I mean, not entirely. The way katanas were forged was actually fairly smart. They folded the metal to burn away impurities that were lodged inside by turning them to the outside. They also used a form of tempering that involved coating the spine of the blade with clay as it heat-treated, creating a springier metal on the spine and a harder metal on the blade, ensuring sharpness. Wow, I had no idea. I just always heard that, like, the actual, like, ore used for the forging of katanas was kind of substandard. But that they were, of course, extremely fine, and really effective, like, slicing weapons. But, no, I had no idea. I know they were, forged typically rather intricately, but had no idea it was that complex. Got some more spirits, or visions of the past here, and, oh, thank God, it's another idol. Oh, so they knew what they put me through. They knew what they put me through. They gave me another one right away. Oh dear. Y'all getting the same kind of vibe from this area as I am? Like, we know what's on the other side of this door, right? I mean, there's no way it's anything else. So, we're going to explore as much as we can before we run head-on into certain death. A kudos to FromSoft for attempting to convey like a pretty coherent and explicit narrative in this game. A lot of the narrative in the Soulsborne series, well, less so in Bloodborne, but the Dark Souls series plus Demon Souls was very implicit. Had to be extrapolated from item descriptions and lore, things like that. But here there's a fairly serviceable, if somewhat basic story, and I do appreciate that. Oh right, there's an entire ground floor to this place that I totally neglected. Hold on, we will sort that out right away. Oh, guys, actually, I think I know what that boss is. In some of the promotional material, like the trailers that they were showing all over YouTube around the time Sekiro was released, they included footage of the wolf fighting, I think it's Lord Ishin, or the gentleman that severed his hand in the prologue that we lost to pretty decisively, on like a balcony on the upper level of like a traditional Japanese castle. So I have a feeling he's going to be in there. And based on the few seconds of the fight that were included in the trailer footage, I'm not looking forward to that. So we are going to see if there's literally anything else we can do. They are just not having great luck with this whole rigor mortis thing, are they? Because this is better than a ragdoll. This is just turning into hardened taffy people when you die. Oh, Val's got some more information on forging for us. In actuality, when they melted the crude iron down, they slumped the molten metal down through a bunch of charcoal, causing it to gather carbon molecules, creating steel. And there were some bits of iron with less carbon and some bits with more. They stacked the separate types differently to form a billet, and then used the soft iron to create basically a hot dog bun and stick the higher carbon steel into that. So they had a lesser carbon count on the back spine, which allowed it to deform and bend and then spring back. Wow! That's, actually some pretty complex metallurgy, I believe. I think similar techniques may have been used, say, in India to forge some of the more unusual weapons from that area, such as perhaps the Ara. One of my favorite historical weapons. Okay, so this is our main hall. We ain't got much to deal with here, but I see a retainer down there, so he's going to be public enemy number 1 for now. The rest of them just look like Ashigaru, and if that's all I've got to deal with here, then I'm a happy and capable man. So first things first, throw open the gates, so that we never have to deal with night jars again. Second, kill some marksmen, because it's fun and lucrative. I love the way that they just try to block, with their rifles held horizontally, as if that's going to do much good. Ah, well, at least they tried. Whoa! Just had, like, a Bethesda moment right there. Eel liver. A miraculous drug capable of banishing lightning offered at the Ashina clan altar. Greatly reduces the amount of damage received from lightning attacks as well as the shock status abnormality. Lightning is a force of the gods. Eels, while small, are relatives of dragons. Even a god's force can be suppressed, though probably not for long. Very interesting. And more sugar. As I've said, it would suck to be a diabetic shinobi. Oh, Sabimaru! An ancient Kodachi short sword. Its blade mottled with bluish rust. Can be fitted to the shinobi prosthetic to create another prosthetic tool. Forged by the Ashina clan to resist the inhuman evil that had invaded Ashina in times long forgotten. It was the poisonous gift of the blue rust that finally drove the spirits out. So, this is going to be like a short-range poison attack. Very interesting. And since it said something about, like, resisting ancient, inhuman evil, maybe it, or an upgraded form of its, yeah, bluish rust. Val says that sounds like copper patina. Yeah, it kinda does, but oh dear. So there are just nasties waiting in every section of this castle for me. Yo, I think I see treasure carp. I think I see treasure carp. Oh, do I risk it? Because I know there's something horrible out there. You just wouldn't have this big, wide open area without having something ready to just ruin my day out there as well. You know, I actually think first things first, I'm going to go try to fight that boss. Since we all know that's what it is. I mean, come on. Val says, there was some use of that in Viking weaponry. They sprinkled animal bones into the metal to invoke animal spirits. I actually did know that. And sometimes used human bones if who they belonged to was a very powerful fighter, which was the carbon source. They used the lesser carbon in the center and wrapped it a long thin strand around the outside of that center billet, hence having a softer, springier center portion, and then a double-bladed high carbon portion. always fascinating to read up on techniques that people's used kind of in a time before established empirically founded best practices for certain sciences or fields for achieving like really high quality in manufacture or organization, institutional structure, things like that. Well, first things first, we're going to go pop our gourd seed and forge our new shinobi tool, and see if we can upgrade any of our current ones. Hey, for anybody in chat or VOD, if you catch this on YouTube, since I've been ever so slowly working my way through Sekiro on stream, let me know, what have you guys been playing recently? I know there's been quite a lot of good stuff that's come out. On my own time, and I literally just got it, like, yesterday, I've been playing around with, Return of the Obra Dinn, a great, like, mystery adventure game from the creator of Papers, Please. It's a great little indie that's well worth the money, in my opinion. Anything new to talk about? Nope. Yeah, the Sabimaru. Allowing for a quick series of attacks together with the sword. The blue poisonous rust on Sabimaru's blade applies poison status abnormality. Great. This might come in especially handy if I fight a really bulky or quick boss, either or, that I want to keep my distance from. Wielded in wars of old, the blade's blue rust was used to drive off inhuman Okami warrior women. Even now it is likely to be effective against their descendants. So, anything wolf-based, I suppose. Yeah, I do have a poison daisho now. I love it. Typically, like most status effect based weapons, I'm probably going to consume this, reserve this for use against bosses or things like that. And then, let's see, we can actually get a spring-load firecracker. Oh, okay, so we have a choice here. Tell me what you guys think. So, this one's just a little bit cheaper. It doesn't require that second component there, the black gunpowder. The shuriken we can enhance to, strike enemies multiple times, which I assume would extend to stamina damage as well. Kind of useful. Or the firecracker we can enhance to gain a sort of charge attack capability that would grant it a 360 degree radius of effect. I'm kind of tempted to go shuriken just so I can upgrade the axe and spear. Oh, radial firecracker. Actually, yeah, you know what? I think you might be right. Might as well, since that looks like the only thing we can unlock right here. Yeah, it would be very handy if I'm surrounded, or if there's a lot more retainers waiting in the wings. If there are more retainers, then this would definitely be the way to go. Oh, and look at what we've unlocked. The long spark. Compounded gunpowder is said to have a long spark, and by increasing the proportion of black gunpowder, the effect can be prolonged for longer than the average firecracker. The flames of the firecrackers, I cannot talk today, bloom for a short while. Oh, that's really interesting. So, like, it might stun enemies longer or have a longer duration of effect. Cool. And I'll go ahead and get the shuriken too, just so we can have as many paths open to us as possible. Alright. Nice. Easy for me to say, not remotely. Oh man, listening back to my streams, because like I never understood when I was like younger how difficult it actually is to multitask attempting to navigate a task like this that, especially for a game of this type, is kind of mentally taxing, and carry on a coherent monologue at the same time. I thought it was like, oh, easiest thing in the world. No. So listening back to my old streams, it's like, I cannot believe I was on the radio for 3.5 years, because this sounds a mess. Yeah, Val, I agree. I think it just increases the duration of the blinding effect, so that, like, I could potentially guide animals or enemies into it. So I just want to see what this boss is, if we can manage this. Fingers crossed, y'all. Hold on, gonna take a drink. Oh no, it's a retainer. Special retainer? Yes, the Ashina Elite. Oh god. Oh, and he's fighting Aido style. Well, let's try out our new shuriken. Oh, wow. Not what I was expecting. So good news, kids. He has, like, no stamina. None. But he can just devastate my health. Hey, that wasn't so bad at all. Look at that. See, the primary mechanic there that kind of played in my favor was that it appeared each of his attacks was treated by the game as like a heavy attack, and every time he would lunge at me, he would unleash 2 in rapid succession. Now, coupled with those skills we purchased, that resulted in just a tremendous amount of stamina damage being dealt to him every time I deflected or even blocked an attack. Oh, well, that was really invigorating. Not what I was expecting at all. Much easier. Got some crafting materials, and whew, every time you beat a boss in this game, at least in my case, you just set to shaking a little bit. That's, as I said, just pure exhilaration. No. I hear whistling. That's not good. We'll be right back for those guys. Let's check this out first. More eel liver. Ghosts once lurked the lands of Ashina. The ghost's lightning was of the fountainhead gods, unstoppable by normal means. Avoid ground and reverse the lightning. Okay, so... Oh, wow. So, if I am about to be struck by lightning, which is a mechanic in this game, I can essentially unleash a perfect parry with the attack button to discharge all of the, like, static energy through my body and directly into enemies. Oh, that is cool. That is cool. It's gonna be so tricky to get that timing down, I assure you, but it's so cool. Anything here? Nope, so, I guess if we want to go further, we're going to have to face the night jars. Like, a lot of the night jars. Here's the big boss. Oh crap. This ain't gonna be pretty, guys.
一心様は命を保っておられるのが不思議なほどです。
そうか。巫女よ、もう一度言う。不死の契りを俺と結べ。
できませぬ、源一郎殿。
Man, I like this kid. He's...
たとえひとたび敗れるとも命を落とし主を必ず取り戻す。それが我が忍びなれば。
Val says, I think it'd be hilarious if my profile picture were a portly man with a trimmed beard, using a monocle to look into a sextant into a magnifying glass. Oh, that'd... I might need to commission that, actually. That's a great idea. Oh, hey, Spanners. No worries. No worries. You were joining the stream probably toward the end of today's broadcast, but also probably what will be the most entertaining part, because this is a great big boss battle and one I am not prepared for whatsoever. Oh, crap. So it's time to throw down with Genichiro. Oh. So yeah, he's just as acrobatic as we would imagine. Whew. Whoa. Yeah, no, he fights like a man possessed. Oh, so close. So, good news, guys. I think we can actually do this. That's the good news. Bad news, as Val so astutely pointed out, the arrows are an absolute nightmare. Their primary purpose is just to drain poise, which they do pretty effectively. And oddly enough, for a boss in a game like this, he is able to bust those out at close range and does so pretty frequently. Now what? Oh, wait. I forgot to get my Gourd Seed. If we have 5 uses of our healing item, we might be able to learn this. Now, the good news I was going to say is, most of his melee, attacks, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm just missing something here, seem to be extremely basic and actually kind of cleanly telegraphed. And despite his kind of regal composure and establishment as kind of the primary antagonist we have to deal with right now, at least, his stance, I noticed, his movement was extremely clumsy. He was stumbling and, like, staggering all over the place. Okay, now we got 5 uses of the gourd. We might be able to take this now. Whew. Increase the posture damage inflicted by Mikiri counters? Absolutely, right now. Val says, I mean, I would almost try the, Isakimonji, what was it called? Ichimonji. Yeah, I might give Ichimonji a try. My only concern is that opening myself up even for like the 1.5 seconds it takes to charge that attack would leave him wide open. And, yes, Spinners, a gourd is a vegetable. In this, case, it refers to a vessel for, like, water, sake, other liquids, that has been forged into the shape of a gourd, an approximate shape of a gourd. I know for a fact pumpkins are gourds. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, kids, let's try again. Oh dear. Oh dear. That was new. Oh, I actually swatted him out of the sky. Nice. Round 1 down, but I am really afraid for what round 2 will bring. Ooh. Holy crap, we are actually making a dent. Oh, wow! Wow, wow, wow! That can't be it. Can it? I mean... Oh yeah, Val, the Ichimonji is really handy situationally, but... Whew! Wow. Throw him to his death all of the Dark Knight. I wish. But I have a feeling we're gonna have to fight this guy maybe like 3 or 4 more times over the course of the narrative. Here would be the lightning fight. It's not over. Oh god. Oh god. Well, I'm terrified. And I was so proud of myself. So proud of myself. Oh, fortunately, it's just 1 health bar. And yeah, Val, going in accordance with what you said earlier... Oh, wow. I was not expecting that. He basically just said I could care less about honor. I could care less about dignity, anything, to win. Oh! Wow! Yeah, Lightning Spear is just as useless in this game. You know, I actually saw a guy, attempt a playthrough of Dark Souls 2 back over on YouTube. And, it was kind of a notorious playthrough because he, was, shall we say, particularly challenge-averse. And, attempted... this was before, like, the big patch that, kind of balanced a lot of the magic in the game a bit better. To, like, cheap, like kind of lame his way through the entire game using nothing but Lightning Spear. And, of course, he was able to just blow most of the bosses in the mid-game away with little to no effort, because this individual didn't seem to be particularly fond of effort, until he made it to the Looking Glass Knight, which was responsible for about an hour and a half of some of the most beautiful footage I have ever seen from that game. Okay, kids, so, two things I noticed. I think this will actually carry us to victory, ultimately. Frightening as it was, the lightning actually didn't seem to change his moveset or affect his base moveset that much, and what kept getting me there was, in the second phase, he always followed up, the diving thrust attack with a stab. Now that I know when the stabs are coming or the thrusts are coming, my Mikiri counter can break his stance pretty easily. Oof. Almost. Got him! Wave 2. Round 2. Kage no Boogaloo. Ouch. So we are doing slightly worse here. Okay. Might be able to manage this, might not. Sorry for the silence, guys. I'm just trying my best to concentrate here. No, 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 no! Oh, so close. So close. Oh, man. I forgot I did not have another round of regeneration with me. So, hey though, we were really close, and it actually looks to me, tell me what you guys think, his second form is much weaker physically than the first is. The only difference is he gets one of those damn sweep attacks that I can never see coming. Okay, so key items. Hold on. You know, he has less armor, and it also looks like he leaves himself open far, far more. Okay. Okay. So, I cannot pop an extra cast of regeneration, but I don't think I'll need it if I can just get the first phase down. Because the second is much, much weaker. And I only have to kill him once, hopefully. Oof. Not a great start. Not a great start at all. Oof. Sorry guys, I'm actually just gonna take the death there because that one was not going my way at all. It was weird. For those first few attacks, he was throwing me around so easily, I actually couldn't get any type of block or evasion out until, he tried to elbow me. That one I'm just going to chalk up to getting a little bit flustered. I know we can do this, and we are going to do this before the conclusion of this stream. That is going to be the conclusion to today's broadcast, because I want to end all of these streams, if I can, on a moment of triumph. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Just to help us out here? I am going to find some of that sugar. Yeah, the sugar that increases attack power, because we've got enough of it, just to help me burn through this early phase. Or the early phases, rather. Oof. Okay. Okay. That's just a little different. Oof. Okay. Just getting sloppy now. Very sloppy. But we'll give it a try. Hold on, that is my phone going off, so sorry. Typically like to silence it before I begin broadcasting. So sorry about that, guys. Oh, whoop. Sorry. Whew, 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 whew. Always happens at the worst time, doesn't it? Oh, one more. One more try. Just a second. Going to take care of this. Alright guys, any advice? Anything I might be missing that you can see on your end? I mean, I think this is just going to be one that I'm going to have to really get a tight start on. I chalk that one up to external interference. Thank you, Val. I will definitely take that mulligan. But no, all I'm seeing is I'm going to need a really strong start to get him down into the third phase, hopefully with my restoration intact and at least 2 healing gourd charges left. I'm dodging left when I should be dodging right for the power attack. Yeah, and that power attack, like the sweeping attack that I can never block, you can actually jump over those and then spring off of the enemy's head for a great deal of stamina damage. The problem is just detecting it in time. There we go. Mikiri counter, worth its weight in gold. Ooh, ouch. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Ah. Whew. Come on. Yeah! There we go, guys. There we go. And we get a special execution. Righteous. Oh. Brilliant. And he died a misguided zealot in favor of, like, total war to bring about his country's dominance. My. Now, I think, right, it's implied that in the second stage of that fight, he was actually using onmyo, or, like, Japanese celestial magic, to create just that beautiful snowstorm and call down the wrath of the heavens upon us. That is beautiful, guys. Oh my god. So, we got the memory, Genichiro. As the code dictates, the wolf swore vengeance on Genichiro Ashina. Wow. I just want to take a moment to reflect collectively with you guys and say, first off, despite being somewhat difficult and flustering me after a couple failed attempts, that was genuinely a remarkably well-designed fight. Everything from the enemy's movement patterns to the radically different mechanics of the second phase, which I didn't comment much on in medias res, because, well, it was just so stressful by the time I'd worn him down that far. To, and perhaps especially, the visual aesthetics of the fight. I love how, for certain moves, when I landed a perfect counter, when I deflected his attacks, instead of staggering him, both combatants would simply clash their swords and then return to, like, a neutral stance. So lots of the little visual touches that they added to this fight were, I think, particularly beneficial to, like, establishing the tone. That is amazing. Oh, and we got a new technique. Ninjutsu that turns the spraying blood of a victim to smoke can be activated after a backstab only, so this is like, sort of a stealth technique that will allow us to make an escape. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Might be useful. Interesting. Very interesting. Whew. Thank you guys for rocking with me through that one. That was incredible. So glad you guys could be here for that. That fantastic. What a fantastic fight. Whew.
あなたがなさったのですね。
お主
争うつもりはありません。巫女の忍びを。健一郎殿。もしや。
Of course. He ain't done.
わしなはこの国は俺のすべてだ。そのためなら俺は人間をやめよう。死人帰りか。
Yeah, no, this is almost exactly like the central story beat from the end of Neo's second act, where several notable generals from who was it? The Toyotomi retainer who led I want to say the Eastern Army in the final Great War against Ieyasu Tokugawa. Or Tokugawa Ieyasu, sorry. Ishida Mitsunari and his retainers all, like, make a deal with a rogue English alchemist to transmute themselves into yokai. And collectively, I believe it's Ishida Shimasakon and Otani Yoshitsugu, serve as the primary antagonists of, like, the first half of the third act. In their, like, crazy yokai forms. So it looks like we're going to be dealing with something very, very similar here. Fascinating. Also unusual to see a villain associated with, like, demonic power or corruption, like Genichiro, wield, like, sort of heavenly astral power. I think that's kind of a cool theme to play around with. Okay, so guys, we are going to commune with the sculptor's idol, and of course offer up Genichiro's memory to boost our attack power once again. Born a peasant, Genichiro Ashina was taken in by the Ashina after his mother's death. With his country on the brink of defeat, Genichiro took to heretical arts and mastered the lightning of Tomoe. Such heresy may be the key to saving her. Interesting. So we're fighting like a rogue, supernatural, ultranationalist. That's certainly different for, like, From Software. And with that, folks, I'm afraid I'm going to have to call today's stream to an end. I just want to really quickly thank all of you, whether you're joining us live here on Twitch TV or reviewing this later through our VOD service on the YouTube channel. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this and engage with me, engage with the game. I think it's absolutely wonderful of you. And a big special shout out to Val and the Spanners in chat for joining us and making this stream something not just more engaging, but significantly more informative than it would have otherwise been. I really do appreciate your attendance and participation, more than you will ever know. Likewise, Val, it was a pleasure. You are welcome here anytime. Absolutely love getting to pick your brain about metallurgy, weaponsmithing, things like that. I think you will be a definite boon to this this VOD. And yes, just thank you. I can't wait to join you guys again, probably either over the weekend or sometime early next week for a bit more Sekiro. We made quite a bit of progress today, and I can only anticipate that our momentum will increase moving forward. So until then, this is the Overanalyst wishing you, in the old broadcast tradition, love, peace, and soul. Have a wonderful rest of your day.